Good evening, all you lovely people in my computer. It's Mac here. So recently I've done a few videos about VMware Fusion and Parallels Desktop 14. Both of them are desktop virtualization packages for Mac OS. Now, as part of that, I've had quite a few questions about how easy is it to run Windows 10 virtualized. Now, Macs can run Windows natively in Boot Camp, but the problem with that is you constantly have to reboot if you need to switch between environments. One of the advantages of virtualization is that you don't have to do that, and you can run Windows 10 on top of Mac OS. It's a fantastic solution, and once I went the virtualization route, well, I haven't been near Boot Camp since. So what I thought I'd do is I'll take you through a process of getting Windows 10 installed in Parallels Desktop 14. Now the process is very similar for VMware Fusion. If I get a chance, I'll do a VMware Fusion video for you as well. But the first thing we need to do is get hold of the Windows 10 ISO. Now I'll put the link to this website in the description down below, but this is where you can get the Windows 10 ISO from. So the first thing we're going to do is just select the edition. There's only one in here, which is the April 2018 update. So we're going to confirm that. I'm going to choose the language. I'm going to go for English. And there we go. We've now got a choice to download the 32 or 64-bit option. So I'm going to choose the 64-bit, and that's now downloading. So let's wait for this to finish downloading, and then we'll look at actually building this machine. Okay, that's done. If we click on Show in Finder, we'll see that ISO up there. So I'm going to get rid of Chrome now, we don't need that. So what I'm going to do is in Parallels, you can see that I've already got it started. I'm going to go up to the File menu and I'm going to select New. Now here we get several options. The one that we want is install Windows or another OS from a DVD or image file. Now we've just downloaded the ISO, so I'm going to go with that, but there are various other options in here. You can also download some pre-built machines if you want. So I'm going to choose that one. So you'll see that it's found our ISO in our downloads. If it doesn't find it, just use that little looking glass on the right hand side and go off and find it yourself. But yeah, so we're going to go with that one and click continue. If you have a license key, you can enter it at this point. If you don't, what will happen is it will go and install Windows for you, but it will ask you what edition that you need to install. And of course, it does mean that you'll need to enter your product key later on. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'll show you the process of where it asks you the version that you want. Now, this part, what this piece does is it tries to pre-configure the virtual machine for you in terms of the processor cores, RAM, everything like that, depending on what you actually choose here. So I'm going to go with the productivity option at the top, but I'm also going to show you how to customize the machine as well. So let's go with productivity. Going to give it a name. We'll call it Windows 10 Run Through, if I can spell, Run Through. There we go. But I'm also going to select this Customize Settings Before Installation at the bottom. There we go. Now this is the configuration of the machine. Now I'm not going to go into this in any great detail. The only thing I am going to show you is if you look under the hardware, the first thing you'll see is the CPU and memory. So this is where you can choose how many cores to allocate and how much RAM to allocate to the virtual machine. Now I'm running this on an iMac Pro, so I'm going to up the number of cores to 8, and I'm going to up the memory to 8 gigabytes as well. Now in your machine you might not see the number of cores that I've got in this. You might not have that amount of memory. So typically, if you want a reasonable starting point, go for perhaps half the RAM and half the cores that are available, and then assess your performance and see whether you need it. Now that's all I'm going to change on this. There are some more complex options in here, but perhaps I'll run through those in a different video. So I'm just going to close that down, and what we're going to do now is just let it go off and build the machine, and you'll see how easy it is. Okay, now because we didn't enter a key, it doesn't know what version we want to install. I'm going to go for the Windows 10 Pro, so I'm going to select that one and then just click Next. And off it will go and do its installation stuff. And there we go. I told you it's an easy process and doesn't take particularly long. So here we are now with our virtual machine. So if we look at the config, if we just pop into Task Manager, for example, you'll see we've got our 8 gig of RAM and we've got our, oops, that's the disk, and we've got the 8 virtual processors set up. If we look at the hard disks, you'll see that it will share quite a few of your local folders with you by default. For example, these are all mine. That's an external hard drive. That's an external hard drive. That's my Dropbox. That's my photo library, for example. And it will do a lot of those things for you. So it could be that the default setting will work for you, but there are ways to manipulate that. And there are things around the network configurations and also snapshotting and all that kind of good stuff, which are probably beyond the depth of this particular video. But what I'll do is I'll do a follow-up video showing how I tune a Windows 10 machine for how I use it. But what we have now is essentially a fully working Windows 10 machine. If you want to, you can go off and do all your Windows updates. Of course, you'll have to activate and do all that good stuff, seeing as we haven't put the key in. But that's it. Now, I think once you've gone the virtual route, unless you have some really heavy workloads, or you want to do things like gaming, then I think you'll find virtualization is the way forward. It does change the way that you use things. So you can see we're running in a window here, by the way. You can change that view. So let me show you a couple of cool things here. So I'm just going to fire up the Edge browser and perhaps Notepad, or I don't know, maybe WordPad as well. So we've got our apps up and running. Let's pull it over here, get them on the side like that. Now, we are running in a Windows, so we can also, of course, fire up our Mac applications at the same time as all this Windows stuff. So if I was to fire up my Mac Excel, for example, there we go. So let me just shrink that down for the purposes of this. Now, we can also run this in a full screen. If we do that, switch to full screen, then as far as what it looks like, you're effectively using a Windows 10 machine. And you forget that the Mac stuff is behind it. But let me show you something else that's quite cool as well. If I just open these applications again, you do have another option for views. Let me show you up at the top here. I'm going to exit out of full screen. I'm going to pop into something called coherence. It'll take a moment just to switch to it. There we go. Now it may not look different, but if I start to shrink these, you'll see what the difference is. So what we have now is our Windows applications running right alongside our Mac ones. So for example, there you can see WordPad, you can see my Mac Excel running on the right hand side there. Now that view, it's a bit love or hate. I use it sometimes when I've got certain apps that only run in my Mac, but I also want to run, say, for example, Visio or something like that. I will use this view because I can have my Windows apps right next to my Mac ones, and that works pretty well. But for the most part, I tend to use full screen. But that view, you can really customize it to how you want to work. So I'm going to drop out of coherence now, which is up here. We're going to go to the Parallels menu and change the view, exit coherence. And there we go, we're back into our window. So that's how easy it is to fire up a Windows 10 machine in Parallels. It is a very, very simple process. There's a lot of customization that you can do that I haven't covered in this video, but like I say, I'll go and do another video showing how I customize a Windows 10 machine for how I work. And I'll also take you through some of the cool stuff like snapshotting and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys found that useful. I did get asked for it, and I like to deliver.